Thank you. Oh, I love these UK crowd. You guys too much. Thank you. No, please. Every week we come out here, I try to get an intro done. We try and start the show off, and it always gets interrupted. There's always all these interruptions when we're trying to... Thank you. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I got a couple of highlights from tonight's Smackdown I'd like to go over, and I just can't wait to tell you all about... What's going on, and welcome to 1, 2, I am 8-Bit Mike. We are coming right off of a rather hot Smackdown. Got a couple of things from this show I definitely want to get into. Excited for it overall. Thought it was a really good show. The UK crowd, whew. I don't know if you can beat these European crowds, man. They are just really engaged, really into the product, and loud, singing along to everything. Loved it. Really, a lot of engagement. But let's start off right off the break. We got Cody Rhodes coming out, cutting the promo. But really what I want to get into is I found it really interesting that Randy Orton came out and interrupted. Randy Orton makes his way to the ring, and there's a couple of things that I felt were a little bit revealing it and are leading me down a path that, just hear me out on this one. Can't wait to hear your opinions on it. But Randy Orton said something so interesting during this promo where he's kind of talking to Cody about all the great things Cody's done. Cody is the reason that this exists. Cody is the reason that everything is the way it is. You know, him getting to finish his story. And then he said the line that really sent me down the rabbit hole I'm about to go through. And he says, but there's always another story. And when Randy dropped that line, it made me feel like someone was saying, there's always someone else besides me. And then my wheels started turning in my brain. I started thinking, we've talked for a while about Randy staring at the belt, Randy potentially going to turn on Cody. What if Randy cost Cody the belt at Mania? Hear me out. No one else. The only person still left with Cody is Randy. And no one has more of a reason to turn on Cody than Randy, if you really think about it. Randy sat back when Cody got the belt, helped Cody get the belt. Every time Cody was in some sort of fight with the bloodline, who came out? Randy Orton. Right? Did it with KO, with Sammy. They were all trying to help Cody all the time. And then Cody does something that, if I'm Randy, definitely sets me off. He gives Kevin Owens a title shot. And he says, no one deserves it like you, KO. You deserve this title shot, Kevin Owens. And he faces Kevin. There's Randy, still helping, still being that guy, poking little bits of story where he was poking a little bit, but still there, still being a good soldier, still doing his thing. And yet, never does Cody turn and offer Randy a shot at the title. So I start thinking, right, what if, like, it was so weird for Randy to come out tonight, in my opinion, like to have that conversation in front of everybody and to say that specific line. What if Randy Orton goes into WrestleMania, punts Kevin Owens, gets him out of the way, and as we come to the finale, we come into that main event, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Something happens near the end of that match. Referee goes down. John Cena starts to just take all of his aggression out on Cody. Maybe he grabs a chair. Maybe he's got a weapon. He's just beating Cody, right? and you hear Randy Orton's music hit. Randy Orton starts coming to the ring, right? During this time, you could have Cody recover a little bit, start to kind of get up, maybe in the corner, maybe like he's going to be able to defend himself. Randy Orton gets in the ring and RKO's Cody Rhodes. Or, even more, he low blows him and turns on Cody, allowing John Cena to win the title. This would be, Randy could say, Cody, I knew if you had that belt, I will never get my 15th, because there'll always be someone else. There'll always be another story. There'll always be another Drew McIntyre. There'll always be another Solo Sikoa, a Roman Reigns, always someone besides me. But with John Cena with the belt, I'm getting number 15. And it's cool, too, because like with the WWE, you would then have this road for Cody after losing the title, where he doesn't necessarily have to go straight back to the title and go after John Cena. We can do some of the other great John Cena matches we want to see. And we could have this build with the Viper and Cody Rhodes as we start to head into SummerSlam. I think it could be something really interesting. But during that entire promo, that is all that was ringing out to me, was the red flags of like, why are you doing this here? Why are you coming out? This is so strange. And when he said that specific line, I just really took a minute and was like, interesting. And I've always wondered throughout this whole process and throughout the whole last year, like, why didn't Randy Orton ever bring that up? Like, hey, like, we're supposed to be boys. I'm always helping you out. You've given KO multiple title shots and I can't get one. You don't think I deserve one shot? Not one? But I thought that segment was interesting. I was even more ecstatic to see my man, Drew McIntyre, come to the ring. I love it. Drew just knows how to insert himself, and he's so good on the mic. I really appreciated him coming out and kind of stirring the pot and really saying, hey, what have you done? It's going to be me. It's going to be Drew. And I love all that stuff. So I thought Drew did nice here. It was a nice start to the show. Really good segment. Next piece, you have the Pretty Deadly, the tag match for the titles. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. I'm just going to say, like, I did die a little inside when the Pretty Deadly didn't win. I'm always rooting for them, and I know it wasn't going to happen, but man, I was rooting for them. I thought, if you're going to do it anywhere, this is where you would do it, right? Next thing we're going to go ahead and jump into is the Jimmy Uso piece, right? So you got Jimmy. Lots of talk of that smack to the face of Gunther last week, and I definitely love that they're bringing that up. I'm excited for where that story's going. I do think it needs to elevate quickly. My only issue with this entire bit, which I'm fine with Jimmy versus Gunther, is just Gunther promised 10 weeks of hell. I don't think we're getting that. I think they've missed the bar a bit. So, like, for me, when I look at this and I start thinking about, like, hey, how do we elevate this? So, like, the match is losing a little bit of steam for me. Like, I really wanted to see Gunther just be vile before this match. And something that was kind of jumping out to me is, what if they pull off, here Jimmy slapped Gunther in the face, right? Gunther's going to look at that as huge disrespect. Gunther's going to look at that like, this can't happen. I'm never going to allow that to happen. He's never going to let somebody like Jimmy Uso disrespect him. But more importantly, right, maybe Gunther comes out on Monday and says, hey, Jay, I realize that every time I jump in this ring and I beat you every night, it's just not hurting you enough. So I'm going to hurt you the way I know to really hurt you, which is through your family. And what if Gunther beats Jimmy and then after the match is just beating on him, attacking him? Jay comes out to try and make the save, right? You have Ludwig Kaiser, Gunther, attack Jay. And what I would love to see, right, is, this attack is the brutal one. This is the attack that's so close to WrestleMania, or close enough that we question whether Jay is even gonna make it to WrestleMania. So maybe you even have him go out on a stretcher, you have him go out with medical or something, and you have Gunther just take it way, way far, right? And so then what you could do for the build, right, is like the next couple weeks, it's Gunther coming out on Raw and saying, please, Jay, come out, Jay, come yeet for the people, Jay. The music hits. Jay doesn't come out. The music hits, Jay doesn't come out, right? And Gunther each week talks about how, hey, this is what I'm talking about. And then maybe he attacks somebody who had helped, or Jay had helped throughout this. So like, the Alpha Academy is a good one. He could attack them in the back or something and just really throw them a beating and say, where's your Jey Uso now, right? Because this would build for me, and what I like about it is when we saw Gunther lose last, it was at WrestleMania with Sami Zayn. Well, not lose last, but his last big loss of a title was the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn in WrestleMania. And in that match, he thought so little of Sami Zayn that, even during the match, you just see him kind of laughing it off. And there were times where he should have gone for the pin and finished him, but he wanted to continue the abuse. He wanted to continue it. And this story, it could be, you could have him come out at WrestleMania and he's literally walks out. He starts to show off Jey Uso's music hit, no Jey Uso. And you could have him grab the mic and start going on about how Jay couldn't even make it to the match. Jay couldn't even make it to the big show, but I tried to warn you, Jay. I tried to tell you, right? And then it hits again and you let Jay come out. And it's this match of, you've lost to me 3 times and now you're hurt. There's no way you're going to beat me this time. There's just no way. And maybe Jay pulls it out. I like that build to that kind of story, but I think this right now, it needs something else. I want to see that 10 weeks of hell. I want Gunther to do something, and I think he needs to do it now so that we have that time. And I just don't think we're there yet. And I'm kind of been a bit disappointed in it, but it's fine. I really hope they kind of do a little bit more to build this up. I think that could be such a special moment if it's executed right, if it's done well. And I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for that. Next up, as we go, I'm going to jump all the way over to the end of the show. We have the contract signing between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And I thought this played out really well. And I do like that. I knew it was coming, but I loved each one of them coming out, kind of giving their reason for their issues with one another, which we're already tracking, but I thought it was good. You saw a lot of emotion out of Seth Rollins on this one. And then you even saw emotion out of CM Punk when he's told, hey, you are going to headline WrestleMania. That was put in here. And I love that Roman Reigns says, yep, favor, check, yep, we checked that box for you. You're good to go now, right? Like, we got that favor done. We don't need to talk about that anymore. I loved it because the minute he said that, I was like, yeah, this isn't the favor for sure. And CM Punk, I'm sure it's a super emotional moment. It's huge. That's awesome, what you've always wanted, right? And I just loved ending it with that, oh, and by the way, that's not the favor. Which just leaves you to think, right? Because it's got to be something with Paul Heyman. It just has to be. It has to be. There's got to be something else. And I almost wonder, are we even going to find out at Mania? How far does this go? Like, how long do they drag out this favor story? Does it become something else? But I thought this was executed really well. I'm beyond excited for this match. If you can't get excited for a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins, I don't know what you're going to get excited for. And not to mention, I loved when they had CM Punk entering the building laughing at Drew McIntyre, who had been attacked by Damian Priest. I thought that was a nice little touch too for the night. So overall, I think there's a lot here to unpack and be excited for. The storytelling is so good, man. It's just so good. And I think there's so much here. Really curious as to your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments. I would love to hear what you think might be coming out of this. What are your thoughts on specifically Randy Orton? I mean, you got to give it up. You got to give it up to him. I think there's a lot there where he could be the one who turns. I think there's a lot where there's a lot of story there that I just don't know if they're unpacking it. And I think that's intentional. I think it's very intentional so that there could be this big moment. There could be this look in his eyes. There could be this anger. There could be this staring at Cody and saying, Everyone else but me. Everyone else but me, Cody. I don't know. I think it could be really interesting. Overall, really great SmackDown. I really appreciate all of you for listening to my content. Please like, subscribe, comment. 8-Bit Mike. See you next time.